Gentleman yields back. I now yield 5 minutes to the gentleman from Iowa, Mr. Feenstra.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman Yarmuth, and thank you, Ranking Member Smith. It's a pleasure to talk about this topic today. I appreciate the testimonies of each one of you concerning the American Rescue Plan and whether or not it was successful, and talk about the implications of it. My past, I taught business and economics at a university, and I quickly pulled out my public finance book, right? Because I wanted to clarify economics, and Mr. Moore, you noted that economics is really not complicated. It's not complicated. It's really about consumer satisfaction and how you get there. And the book, the first 5 sentences of the book, it talks about injecting cash into a system inherently creates inflation. It automatically does, right? So that's what happened. That is factual, right? We do have inflation, runaway inflation, which is factual, whether Mrs. Yellen says that, Mr. Powell says that. I mean, this is fact. So now when you look at the economics piece of it, it also deals with utility. So as economists, when we look at utility, that means consumer satisfaction. So what happened with the American Rescue Plan? We injected all this money. Did we create consumer satisfaction? Well, let's think about that. When gas is up 48%, eggs are up 33%, utilities up 30%, milk up 16%, meat up 12%. Oh, and by the way, we're sitting here less than 24 hours after the S&P 500 closed in a bear market, dropping 20% in the last 6 months, threatening retirements of millions of seniors who have left the labor market. Do you think they're satisfied? No. I mean, this is why there's so much anger in America right now. People are furious because they have to make a decision. They have to make this decision. A rational person sitting around the table with their family has to make this decision. Do I work more? Economics. Do I have to get more money, or do I have to cut going to the grocery store? Do I got to cut the pop, or do I have to cut the meal from my kids? This is real. This is what Americans are facing. So you can talk about the American Rescue Plan, how glorious it is, and yet you have mom and dad sitting at the kitchen table trying to understand what they have to cut. Or does somebody have to get a second or third job? And the same thing with businesses. The businesses have seen dramatic inputs going up, going, all right, now what do we do? And this is scary stuff. You know, the chief economist of the World Trade Organization estimates that between 2/3 or 3/4 of the supply shortages are a result of excess demand, money put in the system, resulting from government spending. Right? So we look at all this stuff, and this is, again, chief economist of the World Trade Organization saying this. This isn't Randy Feenstra. This is an expert. It is caused by all this money that's going into the system. More importantly, and it was just noted by Representative Klein, that it'd be something if we were all collaboratively sitting in this room today figuring out a plan to mitigate inflation. But no, we're not doing that. What we're doing is we're trying to revive Build Back Better. We're asking the president to forgive student loans, and we're also asking for more COVID dollars. Don't we understand the train wreck that is already happening? And it was just noted that, is there storm clouds on the horizon? No. It's a matter of a hurricane, and we're not sure if it's going to be a hurricane of a strength of 2, 3, 4, or 5. And it's scary because I think it could be a 5. This is how catastrophic this is going to be, because you know how you resolve the problem, and the feds get it. They're going up a 0.75% or 0.75 basis points this week, maybe even more, because they understand the only way you fight inflation is increasing your interest rates. And when you increase your interest rates, right, think about what happens. That slows down the economy, you create a recession, and all of a sudden, a year from now, we're going to talk about extended high unemployment because businesses are going to have to lay off people because less people are buying product. Again, it's not necessarily me, it's economics. It's written about over and over and over again. I'm scared. The country is scared. And yet we're talking about spending more. Thank you. I yield back.
Gentleman's time has expired. Now yield 5 minutes to the gentleman from Ohio, Mr. Carey. And give him time to sit down.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ranker. So in June of 2021,